This is your 1, because it's like an E minor 7 flat 5. I forgot about that. 1, 6, 2, 5. I'll play a little bit of a single line on 1, 6, 2, 5 to show you what I would be doing if I were improvising on it. Starting with some very basic melodic lines to some more involved melodic lines, I hope. I don't know what I was doing there, doubling up a little bit. So what you can do here is maybe on the 1, that, on the 6, is it 1, 6, 2, 5. Those are all augmenteds. On the 1, 2, 5, 2, 5. This guitar goes up to D. I never knew that. No wonder I've been missing that all the time. Anyway, it's some examples of playing on 1, 6, 2, 5, using little substitute chords. I tried to show you like the forms too that some of the runs come out of. You know, a good idea to practice if you're interested in. If you're bored with playing scales, because scales are, scale's a scale, and I find that most players, when they practice scales, don't listen to what they're doing. They just sort of go. I mean, and nothing's happening. When you do that, nothing's happening. You're not learning anything, because you're not listening to the music. Because, for instance, what's going on? What is this? It's supposed to be. Every note should be clear. So, but scales can be boring because what you're doing is just running your fingers across the neck of the fretboard. So I thought of a way of making it a little more interesting, which would be to take a note, any note on the first or second string, take this note, and put a chord on it like this. E flat major 9th. Strum the chord. Play the root and strum the chord. So you hear the sound of the chord, because if you want to hear the sound of the chord, it's not, it's like, get it in your ear. Start on the root of the chord, which in this case is E flat, and play a scale. Stopping on the note that the top of the chord, which is this. So you have this. Now that's sort of a scale and not a scale. It's kind of a line because you're not going, which is a scale. You're going. Then take the same note, put another chord on it, maybe this chord. A7, raise 5, flat 9. Play a scale from the root, From the root and stop on the same note. Now maybe you might want to play this chord. D7, raise 9, flat 5. From the root. Every time you stop on the same note. So what you have is a pedal tone, one note on the top, and you alter the chord. Whatever chord you want to make it, augmented, diminish. You want to make it diminish? Give it a root. This diminished chord can have a root of E flat, can have a root of A, can have a root of G flat, and it can have a C, can have a root of C. And I think you can find that out by doing this. And you put a root on each one from the 5th string. Now, I'm sure that's repeated. It's the same. I'm sure that if you know anything at all about theory, you don't have to take my explanation of it. You'll understand it. You'll probably say it's because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, something up, a major third, up a third. I don't know. I don't talk about those things. I talk about listening and hearing. But anyway, what I was saying was you take a note, like I picked that note, and you put a chord on it. Give it a root. That happens to be D flat major, 7, 6. The way I knew that was I found out D flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. That's how I learned numbers. Anyway, paint by numbers. This is D flat major 6. So you take from D flat and you play on scale. This is G7, raise 9, flat 5, same note, D flat. This is G flat 13th, same note. This is A diminished, no, it's not A, it's A7 flat 9, or B flat diminished. D flat 13th. E7 flat 9, flat 5. So you see what you have then now is not just a scale that puts you to sleep or is a pattern that you don't really pay attention, but you have sounds of chords, and you have lines that build from one interval, from a root to an interval, and it gives you something more to listen to. By the way, you should always listen when you're playing. Listen to yourself. So many players I see, not many, but some, play chords that they say G7th and they go like this. Now, I mean, that doesn't belong in there. Whether you use a pick or what, that doesn't belong in there. That C is wrong. It doesn't belong in there. But if you don't hear that it's in there, or you play and you don't hear that note is in there, how do you expect to hear anything else that's like musical. I mean, if you can't hear it, that doesn't sound right. This is a D ninth, nice D ninth, and sometimes I hear players go with the ninth in the root in the bass. So you have to listen very close to everything you play. Something I do is if I play a chord, if I don't like the sound of the chord, I mean, I always say to myself, is that the best sounding chord I can get there? Or can I play something, or can I play? I mean, I'm not going to do anything that's like, but when you grab a certain form, see what you can get out of the form just by moving a finger or two. Now, you don't have to start going. I mean, that's for the guys who want to work real hard. You use about as much as you can in the form. You try something else. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about bass lines and comping with bass lines, because a lot of guitarists ask me about that. And if you noticed, I did some of it on the when I was demonstrating the 1625 concept. Anyway, I'll play a little bit to show you. The most important thing about playing bass line and guitar is the bass line. That is the most important thing. It's not the little comping chords that go on top, though a lot of players think it is or ask me about it. The bass line has to be melodic. It has to be like a little Bach piece. It has to stand on its own. It has to be. The bass line has to be melodic. It has to stand up so that if you heard it, you would recognize the changes. Now, it's a little bit difficult to demonstrate that point on a so-called 1625 because it doesn't go anywhere, really. Because, as I said before, a 1 and a 6 are the same to me. And a 2 and 5 are the same. So what we got is... So what we're doing is... So now let me show you how I do the comping on the 1/6 on the bass line. Visualize doing a shuffle rhythm like... So it's a shuffle, don't go. Shuffle rhythm. And then leave every other accent beat out. No, just... So what you do is